Hey, everybody. Welcome to Final Show Films. My name's Jack, and I'm doing the intro again. You've seen me do the intro before, I'm sure. And this is the part where we call out the wonderful people who support us in making these films, not only emotionally, not only metaphorically, philosophically, grammatically, theologically, geographically sometimes, and also ecumenically, but financially as well. So we'd like to call out Elle, Samantha Bates, and Drevian Alexander, our $25 supporters over on our Patreon. If you'd like to support us on our Patreon, you can go over to patreon.com/fsfilms and also join this $25 tier so that I can call out your name during some of these segments. I need to refill my coffee, though. Be right back. I think we're out of Kramer. All right. Let's roll the credits.
I don't know.
We're live.
Hey, everybody.
Story.
It doesn't
Welcome
mean
back.
anything if you say it at "we're live" and not at "we're back."
Yes, it does. It means I've gotten ahead of you and I've already won. So I'm feeling really
the
good
title-
about myself
Yeah.
right now.
The title
I
of the
support
movie
this.
is
Thank
I was
you.
"We're
gonna say,
Back."
yeah, no,
Dinosaur
Mara is
Story.
official as the storyteller. I'm going to say Mara is officially
Yes.
winning and Sen is officially losing right now. Things can change. It's anybody's game still.
Oh, I see.
Nope.
You issued a dinosaur story like half an hour
Yeah.
before, or like an hour and a half before
Uh-huh.
We Are Back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Either that or you're like 2 weeks late.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, time-
one or the other.
Time is a flat circle.
Look,
And a weird
until
soup.
it hits midnight, you're always in the previous day. So until I say "we're back," you're always too late for the previous
So
one.
when is the proper time that you are allowed to feed a gremlin then?
That's a real good question. I don't know. I don't think you should ever feed a gremlin, honestly. I
Never.
think feeding a gremlin at
Never
any
is
point
the
in time
appropriate
is a
answer.
bad time.
Like it's always after midnight. When is it no longer after midnight?
Never feed them and let them starve to death because they're gremlins.
I've always thought that it was when the sun comes up. It's
Mhm.
safe
I mean,
to
that's
feed
the
them.
answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That-
So it's
that's
more a
realistically
solar
the
thing
answer.
than a truly temporal thing.
So
Mhm.
is it, so
But
hang on,
also,
wait, does that
You
mean
can
that you
feed.
does that mean you don't feed them after midnight or you don't feed them after the sun goes down? Because those are two different time frames.
Those are two very different
No,
things,
no.
especially depending on your geographic
So you don't-
latitude
you don't-
and
It
how
is
many hours
midnight-
of daylight you get.
It's midnight to dawn.
Yeah, you don't feed them between midnight
So,
and sunrise.
What happens
What about
then
those
if
places
you
on
are,
the planet where you've got
Yeah.
24 hours of sunlight?
Yeah, what if you're-
if you're in the Arctic or Antarctic Circle?
Still counts.
This is why you don't feed gremlins at all and you just let the mogwai starve to death.
they have
Anyway, folks, welcome
offer
to
no
Final
value,
Show
it's
Films.
fair.
We're going to play in Grove or Green, the Changeling the Lost Chronicle that we're running here. My name's Jack. I'm your storyteller, and I am joined tonight by Holly, fresh back from Vegas.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Holly. I don't know if I'm fresh, but I'm back from Vegas. I'm playing Lark, Beast One Wing.
Only you and the people in
And-
your immediate vicinity can judge that part. So
William or Shawnee, possibly stale back from Vegas.
Hi, I'm William or Shawnee, and I'm playing Phage, the Ogre Gristle Grinder. And honestly, I'm feeling kind of moderate back from Vegas. Maybe
Okay.
toasted.
Excellent. Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. Stale, and I'm playing Liz, the Wizened Oracle.
And Sen.
I'm Sen, and I defy your definitions of stale and/or fresh. And I'm playing Akujin, the ogre metal flesh blood brute.
And Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I don't know where I fit in on this stale scale, but I am playing Alana Spencer, the Fairest Dancer.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm just fucking tired. I'm playing 2024 vibes. I'm playing Megan Lansing, Draconic Ferris.
And if anybody's wondering what the appropriate level of stale is, if you're talking about cheese puffs, bring them home from the grocery store, open the bag, put them on top of the refrigerator for 24 hours minimum, and then they're stale enough to eat.
Yes, I actually agree with that. 100%.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, ew.
Cheese puffs are better stale than they are fresh out of
They
the bag.
legitimately
I
are.
agree.
This is a lie.
Why would you get
Why
cheese
are you
puffs in the
lying to
first
the
place?
people?
So that you
No,
can get
they
them properly stale and then
legitimately
eat
are.
them.
No. What? No.
Otherwise, it's too hard.
Mhm.
And too hard is not a phrase
You
I
want
would
them
use
to
often.
melt.
I understand.
You want them to
Sen,
melt.
I understand that too hard are not words that you want to hear together as a rule. But
No, I want to hear them together as a rule. My question is, they're too hard, so you let them get stale, a process by which they
yes,
get harder.
they soften. No,
No,
they soften.
They soften because the oil sweats out.
Okay.
He's supposed to get softer.
Hashtag oil sweats.
Last time in Baltimore, the Motley Unlikely prepared to attend the Green Grows concert in Reisterstown. Megan left earlier in the day to scout out the members of the band and shed some light on the suspicious elements that had given her concerns about Alana's ex, Adelaide. Apparently, Green Grows, however, is the more public identity of an itinerant mage cabal, with the primary members all being awakened. A fact that Megan promised to keep secret from the Motley ahead of the show. During the performance, the Changeling swiftly noticed the active use of magic in the venue as Green Grows used their music and choreography to awaken a few sleepers in attendance, which spooked Liz quite badly and led to a small backstage fracas. Alana tried to speak with Adelaide, but was told to wait until the new mages were properly engaged, while Lark and Phage tried to calm Liz down on the sidewalk out in front of the venue. And as Alana, Megan, and Akujin spoke briefly with a mage named Wicker backstage, a nearby radio clicks on. Nature decrees that fear, though sometimes wrong, keeps us alive each time concerns are true. It takes but one ignored fear to find death. What matters then the many-errored mind? If only mortal sight could pierce time's mist and look ahead to see if fears were right. A mystic sight that sometimes might beget a future stolen out of Holy Writ. So the three of you are engaged with a brief conversation with Wicker, one of the...
Akujin is currently visibly crying and has a confused look on his face.
Alana's just gonna ask Wicker, "Is that your radio?"
No, that one was here back.
Just
I think
unplug that and toss it out the back door.
We have a thing about radios. They pop on randomly.
entropy.
One last one.
Sure.
Remember, everybody, to drink your gender fluid.
Oh yeah, we keep forgetting to say the things that we're supposed to say at the top of every show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Vince McMahon.
Black Lives
That's
Matter.
Jeremy's
Trans
thing
rights
to
are
say.
human rights. Eat the rich. Down with capitalism.
Drink your gender fluid.
Drink your gender fluid.
Except in the places where capitalism directly allows us to survive. But other than that, down with capitalism.
No, I'm down with capitalism just across the board.
Learn to play the fiddle. Rome's burning.
I mean, that is why I named my first changeling character Nero.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But Wicker does not seem particularly perturbed or even marginally phased by the fact that you just threw a radio out into an alley. That seems par for the course for her.
Anyways,
We're gonna be back on stage for the second half of our set. Did you want to watch from the main floor, or if you're Adelaide's friends, you can stay back here, I guess.
fun.
I would like to stay back here. We should probably find out where the other three are.
Oh, they're on the sidewalk.
Okay.
I don't mind staying back here for the
Okay.
performance. Akujin, are you okay?
I don't know.
She's just gonna pat your shoulder.
Vibes. Cool. So I think, yeah, we'll be.
There's some chairs
We
over
should
there.
get them. We should get them. The our outside people, but we. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go around. Make sure everything's okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go. Not the direct way through the door.
Right.
Into the
Yeah, you're
conversation
going-
we're not supposed to be part of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just want to go. So you go out into the alley, but then
Yeah.
you do a almost 370 of the building or whatever. Yeah.
I was just gonna, from where we are, like go out to the main floor.
Oh, okay.
And
Or yeah,
out the
cut
front door.
back through the main floor. Go ahead and give me wits and composure as you go through.
Okay.
Akujin just sits down in whatever chair Wicker just indicated.
Yeah, there's a folding chair. Couple
Yep.
of them, with the kind that actually have like a little padding on the seat, not like a straight, completely metal one. Yeah.
He sits down into the like self-interrogative stance where it's like head in hand staring in the middle distance.
Uno.
As you make your way out, there's a couple of the band members are on stage, and the individual in like kind of the open button down shirt that you met ever so briefly, you can see he's wearing a number of chains, all of which have like crucifix iconography on them. Just glances over to you, gives you a nod.
Nod
And then
back.
his gaze follows you very closely as you make your way through the room and out front to where Lark, Phage, and Liss and Butterfly. Yeah. Oh, go
I
ahead.
would like to empathy that.
Okay. Yeah. What's an empathy?
Yep.
I'll say -2.
Okay. Fuck you. 4.
Nice.
He's watching you. Well, trying to think how to describe this.
Is it like a general sentry, like
He's not
the
not
best way to put
watching
it?
you in case you're going to do something.
Okay.
He's watching you, I'll say with 4 successes, he's watching you in that manner of, is she doing what I expect? Yes, she is. Everything is fine. He's watching you with a level of reassurance.
Okay. Fair enough.
Where it's almost like he's watching you with the sort of, actually no, this is exactly what Megan, specifically with her background, would watch, would twig on this. He's watching you like a director, watching you go through the choreography that he designed as part of the film shoot.
Okay. I don't like that, but priorities at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll
no,
do these
basically,
steps.
his gaze feels like she's hit her mark, she's hit her mark, she's hit her
Yep.
mark, she's out and good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was
mhm.
gonna say I will hit my marks and head outside.
Yep.
What did those 4 marks ever do to you?
Look, everybody knows that Mark is a dick, okay?
I was gonna say they were troublous and don't understand the dress choreograph. But
So,
yeah,
Phage, Lark, and Liz. Liz, Butterfly just whispered in your ear, it's fine. I have a gun.
Yeah. She gives a hysterical sort of hiccup at that. And will sit down on the sidewalk.
Mark will sit next to her.
What does a hysterical hiccup sound like?
You don't want me to do that because then I'll get hiccups. Literally. Yeah. And they will last for hours. So no,
Right?
I'm not doing it.
Fair.
It's like an inadvertent gasp laugh, high-pitched.
Yeah.
That lasts for less than a second.
A gaslaff, if you will.
Sure, why not? Yeah, Lark sits down next to you.
Liz, do you want to stay here or would you like me to take you somewhere else?
No, it's fine. Everyone else is still inside. I want to be close.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what's happening in there.
We can find out better by talking.
What if we shouldn't know what's happening in there?
Then we won't know it. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. But interfering in it is only going to get us into a fight. And no one seems to be getting hurt from what any of us can tell. And it certainly doesn't seem to be hurting any of us.
Liz, give me a wits and composure.
Okay.
With your necessary penalties for your current clarity rating.
Oh, that's right. What was it again? Is it -1?
You're at clarity what again?
I'm at clarity 5.
5? I think you're at least at a -1 there, yeah.
Yeah. Say I don't remember it off the top of my head. Been a couple weeks.
That's all good. I will look it up just to see, but yeah, just go ahead and roll it at -1 for now.
Okay. -1. I got 2 successes.
Okay. You see.
Oh, it should be -3, I think, based on the last roll I did. Yeah.
You take a cumulative -1 to perception rolls for every 2 points below clarity 7. So if you're at clarity 5, you're
I'd
still
be-
at just -1.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get to the -2 until you hit clarity 4.
Okay. I don't know what that was
Yep.
there then. Sweet.
2 successes.
Yep.
The girl who fell through the wall walks out of the alley a little ways down past you, alongside a red-haired woman who has a cell phone in her hand. They pause at the curb there at the alley and exchange a few words and seem to be waiting for a vehicle. They're about 15 yards away.
Okay. The redhead woman, because I like ran into Adelaide.
Yes,
that
this is the
Adelaide?
same red hair. This is Adelaide, the same red-haired
She's-
woman who stopped you from futzing with the amp initially.
Her somewhere.
Megan,
Question.
this is about the time you come out.
Okay.
Was Phage around when was Phage around Megan and names Alana when Alana identified that person as Adelaide? I cannot recall.
I think you would have still been there.
Yeah, okay. And what was the line that Liz just said?
He's taking her somewhere.
I think she's calling her a ride.
Hey,
Hey, Megan.
how are
Hi.
we doing?
Visibly, clearly not okay.
Yeah, Lark
Yeah.
just looks at Liz and then looks back at Megan.
Great.
How's Alana?
Alana's fine.
Did you leave?
Akajan's crying.
It's a new one.
What's going on with Akajan?
Nothing. I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
Based on what and this is Jeremy trying to remember what he witnessed from 2 weeks ago. Based on what I saw, I think Akajan is learning how to feel.
All right.
Is
It was a moment of
A
it was
step.
a moment of genuine connection that he's never had.
Yeah.
He's never had.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And that induced an actual emote.
Right.
This
It is the equivalent. No, that's too long of a story. Anyways, I'll say it during the break. Someone
Okay.
remind me.
Okay.
I will
We'll
try
all-
and remember.
we'll all
Immediately that
forget.
came to mind.
Every single one.
Anyways, so one of the fan crew, I don't fucking know / remember, asked if we wanted to watch the rest of the show from the back, and this consensus from those in the room who were able to communicate, which was one person, was yes. So do you guys want to?
That depends on if they let Liz come back in.
We'll need to.
That is a fair point.
That'll depend on Liz a bit.
and Jeremy, Megan would have seen Wicker played bass for the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
New son, what do you want to do?
I don't want to go back in there.
Okay.
Okay.
But should we go back in there?
You don't want to. I'm not gonna make you.
You don't have to.
It depends on what you're comfortable doing.
Yeah. That said, no, not even that said, because that implies that you should feel obligated to, and I don't think you should. But I'm going back in there because Alana and Akajan are there,
What they're
and
doing
Alana
is
still.
dangerous.
We don't know that.
Don't know.
I'm going in too. And she pulls her jacket side open to show the machine pistol.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Butterfly, no weapons.
It's not a weapon.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Leave it in my car.
There's a pause. Go ahead and give me we'll say manipulation and expression.
Expression? Okay.
Persuasion. Persuasion in this case. Yeah, persuasion.
Question.
Manipulation and persuasion specifically. Yep.
Okay.
+1.
All right.
To our friend.
1 success.
She looks towards Liz. Where's my car?
I left it on the street.
Yes. She holds out her hand for Lark's keys.
Liz,
I'm going to walk you over there, okay?
Okay.
Liz, I'll say this. There are a lot of things that we can do and do that aren't dangerous, but from an outside perspective might look dangerous or feel dangerous. What would we do if somebody just assumed what we were doing is dangerous and tried to stop us?
We are dangerous.
That's missing the point of what I said. There are things that we do that seem dangerous but aren't.
Like what?
I mean, I can
Any
think of a shattered
number of
plate that was used to
contracts.
try and guess information.
Any number of contracts that we can do. The fact that if you are in our ability to enchant people, the fact that if you can see what we look like, we look dangerous, but inherently just the way we look is not dangerous.
Even the elementals aren't, strictly speaking, inherently dangerous to touch.
We're making a lot of assumptions and then trying to act on it without figuring out what it is.
Sure, yeah.
It could even be more dangerous to try and stop whatever's happening than I'm not saying that what you were doing was bad. I'm just saying there's a lot we don't know. And it'd be a lot easier just to find out than step in.
Speaking of finding out, you said you talked to one of them.
Yeah,
Anything interesting coming out of that?
probably. I'm trying to remember.
I believe Wicker mentioned to you that this concert was to try and wake people up. Was the quote they had said.
Without explaining what that
Without
was,
explaining what
to
that
be
means.
fair.
Yeah.
Right.
She did explain that they were mages.
Yeah.
And that magic was
They're
real.
wizards of some kind. Something about waking people up. I don't know.
It's outside of our normal field, and I think that makes it worth finding more about. However, Liz, if you're not comfortable, I'm not going to make you go anywhere near it.
Exactly.
I'm not going back in there.
That's absolutely fine.
It's fine.
Vehicle
here.
drives up. Adelaide puts the girl who went through the wall into it. Says goodbye. Closes the door. And then turns and walks back down the alley. The Uber drives away.
I'm going back in.
Okay.
If there's problems, I will. If there's any problems, I'll let you know.
Be out here with Liz.
All right.
Liz is going to look over at a street light and check and make sure that Megan isn't going to immediately die when she walks in there, because that's what she's assuming is probably going to happen.
Okay, go ahead and give me a wits and composure.
Okay. Do we get the -1 on that or not?
And this isn't a perception
Okay.
wits and composure. This is a different.
Oh,
wits
that's
and
right. This
composure.
is my thing.
This is your
3.
panamancy.
Woo!
No, she's not gonna die if she goes back in there.
Okay.
Megan is all but guaranteed to at least survive the night.
That's good.
You know, when you say things like that, Jack, that's a challenge to me. And you
That's why-
know it.
That's why I say all but guaranteed.
There's always the room for doing something stupid.
You're right.
It's not just a challenge to me, it's a challenge to the dice.
Oh, well, I'm perfectly fine challenging the dice. I know how arithmetic works. All I have to do is keep giving Megan like +3s and 4s to shit, and it's probably going to be okay.
Well, I know this doesn't necessarily apply in New World Darkness, but in Old World Darkness,
Right,
we'd always say that's just the opportunity for that
for
be
a
more one.
ridiculous botch. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is New World of Darkness, where you don't have to worry about that, which may or may not be a feature or a bug, depending on your perspective.
I don't like
Yes.
I consider it more of a feature, but I understand the desire.
it. Listen, you have not. I would argue you have not played Vampire the Masquerade until you have quintuple botched a feeding roll, a hunting roll.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And then proceeded to blow up a building to cover evidence. Yes, this happened in the game once.
The easiest way to botch a feeding roll, in my opinion, is to hunt somebody down, to jump them, and then to find out they're a werewolf.
As some might got their ass kicked by a random secretary. Proceeded to blow up the building.
Amazing.
Anyways, I go back in.
You should go with her to Phage.
Possibly. But I'm not leaving you alone. I'm not going to let you just be stuck out here.
So, Lark, you walk Butterfly over to the vehicle.
Mhm.
She reluctantly but obediently takes the machine pistol out of its holster and sticks it under the driver's side floor mat. That's where you hide things. It's not at all concealed. It's a whole ass gun just under a
Yeah,
floor mat, but
she's gonna grab like a jacket or a sweater and like kind of try to place it over it
okay.
so that people don't just see that.
Okay. Fantastic.
All right, she'll walk Butterfly back to Liz.
When are we singing?
We're not singing tonight. Oh, that.
When are we singing?
I need to figure that out
Yes.
soon. But I need to figure that out. Thank you for reminding me.
TikTok.
Yeah.
She kind of
go with.
She does it. She does like one of those high school punch you in the shoulder things, and then laughs and runs away
Okay. Where is she running?
into traffic.
That tracks.
Running after Butterfly.
There's a gap. She makes it
Oh,
plenty way
okay.
across the road, but yeah, no, just full on runs across the
Oh,
road without
no.
stopping to look.
Okay. Does she make it back to Liz in one piece?
Yeah.
Great. All right, go walk back over there. How are you doing, Liz?
Not good.
Okay. What do you need right now to make you more comfortable?
To leave?
You do want to leave?
No.
Okay.
You don't want to leave, but leaving would make you more comfortable.
Yes.
You want all of us to leave together, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, well, Alana needs to stay for a little bit, I think.
He's gotta
Speaking of
talk
which,
to. You gotta talk to that redhead.
In fact, Phage, can you wait here with us for a minute? I just want to check on Alana.
Yeah, I'll be good.
Okay, I'll be back. And
so Megan,
she'll-
you go back inside
Mhm.
about 5 minutes or so before all this, and they're setting up for the second
Okay.
half of their set. Do you go backstage
Yes.
to rejoin the other two? Okay.
Yep.
Alana, Akajin, you've been back here, set up with some chairs. Wicker finds a bottle of water for the pair of you to share, if you feel so inclined. And then makes her apologies because she has to get back on stage. About 30 seconds before Megan gets there, the alley door bangs open again and Adelaide walks in. All right, well, that's a bit handled at least. I don't have much that I have to do. If you want to watch the show, that's fine, or we can chat a bit.
I, I, I'd like to talk.
All right. You're looking a little jumpy.
It's the state of things these days.
Do you think I was going to be dead?
Couldn't find anything about you. I didn't know anything.
Well, usually when you can't find something on somebody, it's either because they're gone or they don't want to be found. But here we are.
Akujin has collected himself at this point, and he's just
Mhm.
keeping an eye on the two of them. He's still sitting down,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
if
mhm.
they go
She-
somewhere, he's following.
Go ahead and give me a wits and empathy. For I don't know that Alana's in a state of mind where she would be making a wits and empathy at this point. Okay.
Let me. Oh, I should. Hang on. It would help if I was in the game correctly and had my character sheet open.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Wits and empathy. What? Oh, hang on.
Are you on a chance die?
I was on a simple roll.
Oh, okay.
2 successes.
The way Adelaide, she's registered you being there. And her attitude right now is very much, this is somebody who Alana knows, and Alana's obviously very stressed, so there's no reason to ask for privacy if I don't need it, and it might make this person feel a little more secure. Right about now, Megan, you are ushered by security backstage and come to see they're a little ways down this sort of hallway with the chairs.
Okay.
But you're close enough that you can see this conversation. You'd need to close about half more distance before you can start to actually hear things because the band's playing and that's loud.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, did you want to start then?
She's just gonna hug her.
There's a bit of a like, oh, okay, kind of gesture, and then quietly returns the embrace. There.
I don't know what you thought. I don't know. 10 years is a long time.
It is.
I'm assuming everybody thinks I'm dead. And That's
Pretty
probably for
accurate.
the better. My
You
mom.
look a lot different as well.
Right.
She kind of leans back a little bit, and then you see her kind of pull away from the hug for just a moment. She takes out an eyedropper and drops a few drips of a liquid into one of her eyes and kind of blinks it through, and then closes the other one.
She will let go of the hug and step back.
Oh, go on, give us a spin.
She will. I was made into this.
Well, you're carrying it fairly well. Roll me a d10.
8.
Okay. Your hair does not vanish.
My gods. Okay. I had been wondering about that for like 2 weeks, and I was like, is Lana bald? I don't really want to go into everything that happened while I was gone.
She kind of holds up a hand. And the person you were when you vanished was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And not a insignificant 10 years either. Loss is terrible, of course, but you don't know me any more than I know you anymore. She holds out her hand. I'm Adelaide of the Cult of Ecstasy. It's nice to meet you.
Alana of the Motley Unlikely.
She takes your hand, gives it a squeeze. She doesn't let it go immediately. She just kind of rubs the ball of her thumb across the back of your hand for a moment. The world's better for having you back.
I don't know
Wherever
about
you've been
all
off
that, but
to. I do. And then she lets go of your hand. Who are your friends?
Hi.
Yo.
Hi. This is Akujin and my partner Megan.
Well, then.
The two of you are dating?
Jesus Christ, Akujin.
Talk about slow on yes, we started dating a couple days ago.
Huh.
Adelaide is actively trying to not laugh out loud.
Apparently, I missed the bulletin.
We are an observant people.
Clearly.
The other people who are here with me tonight are Butterfly, her partner Liz, and Lark and Phage.
Is Phage the one that was fucking with our sound system?
No, that would be Liz.
All right.
She's
But Liz picked up on some things. I think most of us did.
Well, that
And
cuts both ways.
not obviously. Liz was concerned and acted a little impulsively, but well-meaning.
Hmm.
From our perspective, your magic is alien, and it looked like you were kidnapping people or forcing
Much
them to
like
do
we
things against
probably
their will.
look.
I'm sorry, what the fuck did I miss?
one person vanished through a wall, and another person contorted themselves very oddly in order to get into the mosh pit. Would have been painful, I would say, if it hadn't looked like he was having fun.
Well, gossamer thin line there between the two of those.
Wouldn't know.
Mm,
Apologies.
Just shrugs.
Well,
but no, everything's as far as we're concerned, as far as I know, things fine on our end. Misunderstandings happen.
Fortunately, no harm done. We managed to keep things from exploding. Well, sticking around for the rest of the show then? Or were you here for a purpose?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right.
I thought the two of us seeing each other again might give one of us some closure. Or both of us if I was lucky.
And how are you feeling?
Confused.
Well, that's to be expected. Say what else you need.
I just didn't want you thinking for 10 years that I ran off to leave you.
I haven't thought that for at least 7. When you realize what the world actually is, and you start to see the unexplained become a bit more explainable. Can't nobody change the past, but you can comprehend it better.
Mage, I guess.
What was that, Sean?
I said, well, tell that to a high sphere time mage, I guess.
What's a sphere?
Yeah, that would be the reaction.
That's me as a player.
I mean, sure, if you want, you don't want to fuck with the time stream, trust me.
And she's called of ecstasy. That's their specialty.
Yeah.
They can change the past, just like they can turn a vampire into a lawn chair. Will they? No.
Because that is just asking for so much more trouble.
Something Ian Malcolm quote.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I spent 10 years dancing in a world of unreality, seeing creatures I would never be able to explain. I didn't rest. I didn't stop. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was bent and broken in ways I can't begin to comprehend. And I just don't think any of it. I never asked for any of this.
Do you think anybody does?
No.
You're wrong.
That's it.
There's a few of us that can. You're not one of them. So as far as whose fault it was, it wasn't.
It's the fault of the bitch who took me.
Oh, you can blame whoever that was.
It wasn't fate. I've learned to give up on that concept a long time ago.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far. Fate's fickle. Fate's mutable. If you know how to catch your calling card or make an appointment, makes some things easier and some things far, far worse. And I don't know who it was. What took you? But the taking. What's the difference between a mass murder and an earthquake?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Intent, number of people affected,
Yeah, I was gonna
number
say.
of structures affected, ability
Intentionality.
ability to survive an encounter with one. There's a lot different.
But unless you believe in fate and destiny.
Oh, I'm not getting into that philosophical debate.
Oh, of course not. This isn't the time or the place, and frankly, it doesn't really matter. And if you can shoot a mass murderer in the head before he kills somebody else, good on you.
Yes,
Yeah, that happened to me a few times.
I was going to say.
Well, vagaries of perspective and philosophy notwithstanding. Whatever purposes you have for Green Grows after the show, I'll talk to Oren and see if we can sit down and have a chat.
Okay.
In the meantime, Lana, do you need to take a walk or something?
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to come along can come along. Up to you.
Action stands up.
Well,
All right.
At what point does Lark get there?
So you guys were, I was going to come back to you guys. Are you guys
Yes.
planning on coming backstage, or are you staying out with Liz, or what? For Phage and
is
Lark
staying with
and...
Liz.
Okay.
Lark was going.
Lark was coming inside,
Lark was
right?
going to find Alana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right about this time is when Lark would probably be arriving.
Okay.
Also, I'm texting Phage and Megan, and I'm realizing just now that Jeremy and Holly are in the wrong spots on the overlay.
Are we
What's the
swap?
text say?
Yeah,
I mean, it's fine. We're basically the same person, right?
yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. I'm gonna convince Austin. Yeah.
But texting Megan and Phage, we should just shortly, we should consider seeing if these people can help.
Oh, hey, you're reading Alana's mind.
Response on the text is that had already crossed my mind.
Yeah, you just get it. Duh.
Which is then responded with, and we are bad at clearly communicating things, Megan, who is dating Alana, and I didn't know until just now.
That's on you.
No, it's not.
And that is just out loud said.
out loud in response. Also, no, it's not.
Lark, hi.
Hey,
Hey.
how are you doing?
That is a great question that I don't have an answer for. Adelaide, this is my sister, Lark.
Oh, it's a pleasure. She holds out a hand.
I'll shake it. Nice to meet you.
Fascinating
Lark's
city.
trying to read the situation between the current situation
Go ahead
between
and give me a wits and
Adelaide
empathy.
and Alana. Yeah.
What's the room tone?
Right?
Yeah.
Middle C.
Static.
So much happening back here. All of it
Mhm.
inscrutable, Lark.
Gotcha.
There's clearly an awkwardness in the air. You cannot attach it firmly to any one aspect of what's going on.
She will also look at Akajin because she heard that there was stuff going on with him. How does he look?
As stoic as ever. He has collected himself. So
Okay.
He was crying. I'm not. It's not out loud. He was crying, but he got worse.
Right, well, she will walk over
emotions
and
firmly repressed.
she will walk over and just give Alana a hug.
Well, Alana will hug her back.
We were going to catch some air before the rest of the band finished up their performance. And it's an open invitation for any of Alana's family.
It's probably a good idea.
Yep.
Phage is out there with Liz and Butterfly.
Should we collect them as well?
I don't. Liz doesn't want to go back inside.
He's a little uncomfortable with everything.
Yes.
All right. Well,
It's a good thing we're walking
I'll
outside. Then.
leave that up to all of you. And she'll step out and hold the door open to the alley.
Yep.
Alana will step out.
Yep. Lark is
I'm just
right with Alana.
Yep.
Okay.
Following up in the rear.
There is barely room for paper between us.
Yeah. She's not getting in Megan's way, but Lark
Right.
is very much guard dog right now
Okay.
on Alana.
Adelaide's going to read that and angle out towards the main street so that you guys walk right past Phage and Liz.
Oh no.
So Phage, Liz, you guys see the rest of your motley plus Adelaide come around the corner and just walk towards you guys.
Nope. I'm backing away.
Paige just
I don't know what this is.
sees Liz backing up. It's like, Liz, it's the rest of our motley plus
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What?
It's all right.
How can you say that?
Because none of them are injured.
And they've got me widely outnumbered.
Which means it probably wouldn't matter, or you wouldn't do it. Why are you... What is happening?
Jesus Christ, Liz, the entire world is not out to get you, just most of it that we're already aware of.
Liz, they're humans. Weird humans, but just humans.
Okay.
humans that do magic, which is admittedly impressive.
List doesn't trust easily.
A lot of us don't trust easy.
Lark just snorts at that.
We thought you might be things that we needed to kill, and they were laying a trap for Alana. That's why we're all sort of on edge. Or at least
I was
Oh.
perfectly willing to take things as they came, for the record.
It registers on Alana's face that this is the first
Wits
time
and
she realized that was an
empathy,
option.
Everybody except Megan. Hmm.
It is not untrue.
I mean, also, Phage was not expecting a trap immediately, so
No, Oxygen's just assuming everyone was.
One
success for
success.
Lark. Okay.
Nothing.
0
Nothing
for
for
Oxygen.
Alana.
All right, wait, no, that's Alana. Wait, did mine roll?
no,
Oh,
it didn't.
yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
0 for Oxygen. There.
Okay, so 0 for Oxygen. Okay. Lark, there's a glance that goes from Adelaide to Megan that you don't quite get, but something.
Lark already
Phage
knew, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Like is
Phage and
moderately well
Liz-
aware.
Right. Phage and Liz. There's a glance from Adelaide to Megan like, seriously, what the fuck?
Oh, he's always like that. I wouldn't take it personally. He had probably no immediate ill will towards you.
No, I mean, killing things that are a danger to us is a fact of life. It's not something that you hate.
Whatever you said did not come over the mic.
No.
I just need to make a roll for her.
For the record, this is why Megan immediately spoke up.
Well, given that's out in the open then, I suppose. Yeah, honestly, I'm not entirely sure where to go from there.
Well, let's start with introductions a little bit.
We're all
Hi.
fine. Everything is fine.
Hi, Phage O'Flanagan.
Adelaide, pleasure. Obviously, I know Alana and Megan Aquajin Lark, I believe, which would
Mhm.
make you Liz
And that's Butterfly.
and Butterfly. All right. Liz, that was a magnificent level of fuckery you did on the amp there. Very skilled.
He's good at that.
Thanks. I'm going over to where's Augustine at this point? Are you toward the front?
No, Oxygen was in the back. Oxygen's
Okay.
like, behind
All
everyone
right.
else.
I'm trying to get away from Phage and closer to Oxygen at this point. Congrats, you're my favorite person right now.
Yeah, fair.
She'll let it happen as long as you're next to somebody.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'll just put a hand.
Adelaide.
Just give you an arm to hide behind.
Yep.
You guys are now like sort of Adelaide seems inclined to continue the stroll away from the venue.
Mm-hmm.
Phage will follow along.
Mm-hmm. Post up near a bus stop and phone booth, and she pulls out a joint and lights it in flagrant violation of current Maryland law at this stage in time, where weed is very much illegal.
So Phage sort of leans onto something and just asks, all right, we're clearly from two very different worlds, but I don't think that there's any particular reason why we need to be a danger to each other.
Not at all.
They come straight out on the war footing. All right.
Sorry, I'm sort of in
This
charge
is
of
our
people
boss.
around- Yeah, I'm sort of in charge of people around here right now.
Not our
Alright.
boss specific. Most of us don't listen to her at all.
Seriously,
But-
I could use a little bit more respect. No.
But
You
the boss of
you buried the lead there, Queen.
listen, your luxurious splendidness.
Fuck
When
no.
regardless, I'm not going to go down that road. But the boss of us is a
Hey, how
whole
do you spell
lot
that?
of us.
Phage.
All right. I'm going to call you Big P.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. In any
All
way,
right.
the group of all of us
Just
in
how
this city,
literal is this whole queen thing then?
Oh, there's a crown and everything.
it's relatively symbolic.
It's not in any way, shape, or form.
How much are we telling them?
Duly noted.
In any way,
That is Atlas and shrug.
enough to get conversation going. I'm at the moment in charge of the people like us in this city.
All right. She holds the joint out to listen.
I take it and I hold it. I don't do anything with it. I just hold
Okay.
it.
Fair enough.
And
I'm not about to
we've a
teach us how to
vested
smoke.
interest in keeping ourselves safe from all manner of outside interests and dangers.
I take it from this and I take a hit off of it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not giving that up. That was a gift for me. What are you doing?
It's a gift that goes away because it's on fire.
And
She will sort of lean down and
This
look
is my
over
special
at
joint crutch that's
Yeah.
burned down to the stem. And I'm keeping it as a souvenir.
She will lean down. She will look down to Liz and just say, "You meant to like puff puff pass kind of thing."
Don't teach Liz how to smoke. That will never end well.
Fair, but I'm just getting the point out there, just so that it's understood.
I see nothing bad that can happen from such a situation.
We taught her how to
But
drive, and she's gotten into how many car wrecks?
none. I take absolutely none.
Do you
I
take
have-
a hit?
I-
Was that
Yes.
what I heard?
Amazing.
Oh no!
Her car has been repaired.
Oh no!
Uh-uh. I've gotten into no car accidents. What are you talking about? That was intentional wrecking it that one time.
It's not an accident if you do it on purpose.
Exactly.
But in any event, she says, looking back to Adelaide, it'd be good to get the lay of the land of the people who are abnormal, but not us.
I mean, that's not a bad point. It's probably a much bigger world out there beyond us that we're tripping over daily.
It's an extremely big world. Yes, that is true. Not just in the generic geographic sense that most people are taught about in
Right.
primary education.
I'm sure there's many things out there that the normal folk don't know about, considering what we are and where we came from.
All right.
But you're the
Well,
first that we've run into.
well,
That we were aware of. I should specify.
I should offer as a counter or comparison. You lot are the first. I don't want to just start throwing proper nouns out that might not be correct.
Changeling.
Fair enough. You all are the first changelings that I've ever encountered personally. Stories, of course, but as far as that goes, first direct contact.
Oh, a pleasure.
Do you all have a queen?
No, not anymore.
Ah, okay.
Why? What'd you do to her?
Well, there was... When you've got a mixed bag of individuals, all with their own status and ideas of what's right and what's wrong, and there are, of course, people who consolidate power and authority structures and hierarchies and things of that sort, of varying flavors and types, and then sometimes people set off massive destructive events in spirit world, and you never hear from the people who used to call themselves in charge again.
We just separated out into seasonal like hierarchies.
Blink, blink.
I imagine that spirit world's got nothing to do with the hedge. If I was to take a wild guess.
Or it's the same thing.
What's the
we're just
hedge?
calling it different people.
Right. Brief overlay.
Ah,
The things that take us, the old fae, the stories, the things you hear about in old Irish folk tales. They live far away in a different world. And there's a barrier realm that exists between their world and ours called the hedge.
Oh, all right.
It's a mass of thorns and psychoactive plant matter.
I feel like you just said the worst possible things to this ecstatic.
Interesting. Well,
It's also hell. But
dimensional shifting isn't entirely out of. I've done a number of astral jaunts myself, so consider me informed.
I don't. Based on the kind of description.
Obviously, Liz is not super comfortable with you giving me too many details, so
Yeah.
feel free to.
We'll keep it light. But the point I wanted to make is that I feel like there could be benefit to us as long as you're around, giving each other a helping hand.
I mean,
Or others like you who are regular around here.
I mean, that gets into how many of you are there, and I feel like that's not information anyone wants to share.
Well, no, obviously not. But if we say this has gone so far beyond what we originally came here for, and I'm sure we'll get back to that. But if we say, hey, Adelaide, would you mind giving the you said there's
pass
no
your
queen.
number along to somebody.
Give the mages my phone number and saying, hi, I'm something else. Please contact me and we can coordinate.
I'm something else. I love the way you phrase that. All right. No, we're pretty itinerant. We travel a good bit. We'll be in town for about another 12 hours after the show. But if there's anything we can help you with in the meantime that I can talk the others around to, perfectly acceptable and fine. There's a few names that we can check and see if contact might be able to be arranged. We are a paranoid lot. Because
I imagine so are we.
You have noticed.
Shrugs.
Oh, it sounds like you're not terribly keen on the presence of these things from the other near-earthly realms. The things we're not too keen on run this planet. So
We've a vested interest in keeping those things in the far realm out and away from us and never coming back to get us again.
And also not letting them get normal people and do to them what they did to us.
That as well.
I feel like we're looking past a very significant statement. But again, that's high level stuff.
It's a
maybe,
question that's boiling in the back of my mind, but I'm saving it for later.
Yes. Maybe we just say at this point, hey, here's our numbers. Pass them along to anybody you know in the area. And I feel like there's something more pressing.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be a good idea if we could know and coordinate with any folk like you who are in the city as a regular, but I feel like there's other things at hand.
To be
all right.
Slight addendum to that, anyone that's like you that isn't going to try to use us for weird experimentations or harm us at a large percentage.
Oh yeah, we really don't want to kill people. So
trustworthy individuals as best we can manage.
Yeah.
And if we can't manage trustworthy, we'll let you know, hey, probably not this one.
Anyone to avoid would be good information as well.
Also that. But yeah,
All right.
As we start a
Lana,
world of
Lana, how are we doing?
She is like 1,000 yards staring off into the distance.
Oh yeah, no, that was a direct question from Adelaide to Alana.
Um, uh, fine. I'm okay.
Your concerns are a little closer to home, though.
Yeah, but they're not important right now.
This
mm,
night, this whole trip was for you. They are important.
they're what's important right now.
So if we zoom in,
Small picture right now.
It was mostly just to talk to you, to see you, to say what I've already said. That I didn't leave you on purpose.
I know you didn't.
Look,
What happened happened, and it's no more your fault than if a tornado had come through and ripped the roof off the diner.
things are confusing for me. I'm 26 now, but still 16. And
And I'm 27 and clearly aware of that fact. What each of us went through was very different. And yours sounds like you were afforded a significantly reduced level of agency compared to mine. So your well-being, I think, is a bit more in question in terms of making sure that you're cared for and provided with and have what you need so that you can recover from what sounds like a decade of pretty terrible trauma.
yeah. And I
Whatever
don't know
you've
what
been.
that
Go
looks
ahead.
like.
All right. Well, you've got a family here of. I'm picking at the edges, but it sounds like they've got a level of commonality in terms of having gone through similar things.
Each of us has our own unique torture story, but yes.
And they'll be able to empathize with you. And if you're very, very lucky, all of you will be able to help each other heal rather than tearing each other down. Because I'm sure we all know hurt people can hurt people. I think what I have to offer you, Lana, is one, maybe two things. First and foremost, that I'm not angry or hurt or disappointed. Life happens. We accept that and we move forward. You didn't do anything. Wasn't your fault. I hold you no ill will. We can regret the missed opportunities that we might have had 10 years ago. The other thing I might be able to offer you is some truly functionally very helpful drugs.
Or what?
Yeah, I noticed
Drugs.
that. Paige said, looking over at the blunt.
Drugs are very helpful if you execute them correctly for mental issues and trauma, and sometimes just taking a break from the stress and
I'm looking
altering
at
your
lists.
level of consciousness and perception and letting you see things that you never even knew were real in the first place, but that functionally are and can affect. There's, yes.
I'm looking at Liz to see how she's handling that inhale.
Multiple inhales.
'Cause
She
it
didn't
How many have you taken?
stop.
It
Yeah,
happened, and we
why
haven't
would she?
actually
Roll me
acknowledged it yet.
2d10 then.
Okay.
Oh
Why would she
no!
stop?
Oh no!
8.
All
6 and a
right.
2.
Any dexterity, intelligence, resolve, or wits-based dice pools are currently at a -8.
Okay.
You are
Cool.
very high.
So,
Yes. No, you are. Yep.
So I
We
reached down.
already have someone who can give us drugs.
I reached down and picked Liz up,
Mm.
and I look over at Phage. This is why we don't teach Liz how to smoke.
No, that's exactly what was needed in this moment.
I agree.
It's you make a fair point, Akujin, but I will counterpoint that
I
she
can
is
do
less
drugs.
likely to get herself into trouble.
I have one that will make you see things. All sorts of things. It's gonna work great. It didn't die. I kept it alive. It's gonna grow very tall. I'm
Is
gonna
there,
put it on the grapevine.
is there any of that joint left?
I was gonna say,
8 hits. There's like, it's not quite roach level yet, but it's
I was
getting
gonna-
there.
Jesus, how big was
I'm
this
just gonna,
fucking joint?
I'm just gonna see if I can
This
take
is a
that out of
full-size
Liz's
joint.
hands.
I'm gonna try and prevent it.
You're at a chance
Good
die by a
luck.
long
No,
margin.
Roll
it's
me a chance
strength.
die.
Is it strength?
This
Because
is
it's
not
not-
strength. This
it's
is
not
fine.
strength?
You're trying to hold on to
Okay.
something small. This is fine
I'm
motor
trying
control.
to like just hold on to strength. All right, fine.
I mean, if you
I'll
want it to
try.
be strength, I'll roll my strength.
I'm just gonna leave it on wits and empathy because I don't feel like clicking in the sheet a whole bunch.
I just click chance and roll.
Yep. Nope.
Yep. Yeah. Akujin, you've got a mostly smoked joint.
I'm going to,
And I'm taking it right from you.
I will let Megan take it.
Is Megan finishing it or?
Not that rapidly. Because
Okay,
Megan
but
is
Megan's
experienced and knows.
Is Megan
but
taking a hit though?
yes, for sure.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me intelligence and science, we'll say.
Okay.
Or, depending on what you think Megan's habits are, I will let this be intelligence and socialize as well.
Oh, 100%.
How tall is Liz, by the way?
What did I say last time?
4 foot.
4 foot.
Okay,
4.5
so
feet.
so Akush is just like leaning slightly off to one side so that Liz's feet are dangling just off the ground, but he's not having to like do full lift.
Yep.
Just so she's not in the air, but she can't walk anywhere right now.
With 2 successes, you would say this is definitely a hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And percentage, you're talking probably mid-60s.
Okay.
I have
Nice.
no idea what that means.
So not terrible,
Good
not
shit.
not deadly, but
Right.
very good shit. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
You're wrong about one thing, Addykins. I didn't get to move on. I haven't gotten to move on.
Lark will just put an arm around Alana.
All right.
When we're taken, time is a little weird.
And our memories are not
not great.
great.
The thorns take a toll coming and going.
Oh, I have to roll a thing.
I don't know how long
Go
I
ahead.
was. I don't know how long I was away, but some people feel like they're only away a day, but we're actually gone years.
I have
And
no
vice versa.
memory
And vice
or
versa.
no concept either.
You were the only thing I thought about for 10 years. You were the only thought that I could crystallize and hold on to, out of everything.
There's a deep sigh. And then Megan, she makes a gesture at you like,
Yep.
pass it over.
Yep, absolutely. That's why she grabbed it. Like, of course
Yeah.
she's gonna take a hit herself,
Right.
but
There's probably like 4 hits left on this thing, max.
No, my voice is too valuable.
Well, as far as that goes, then, I hope having something to hold on to was helpful for you, at least to some extent.
Liz is right, it was a mistake to come here. And she's just gonna walk off.
Larky's right behind her. That didn't come through, William.
Phage is just watching her walk off. I'm assuming Megan's also going with them,
yes.
and she'll sort of watch them walk off for a minute and look over at Adelaide. I don't think it was a bad idea, actually. I think she needed that.
I think it hurt.
Yeah.
Not everything that hurts is bad for you, though.
No, not even a little bit.
How are
Sometimes
you
hurt is
feeling?
what you need. Me?
I mean, you've had plenty of time to move on, but that was something blast from your past walking back up to you.
It was a blast foreseen.
Your magic lets you see things coming ahead of time.
Indications, inklings, hints, sometimes.
Oh, like you. I
It's
say
more-
limitless.
I'm an omen.
I knew it would happen eventually. Alana's disappearance was a significant factor in making me what I am. There are certain things that jolt you so hard you wake up, or at least blink in your sleep, and enough of those jolts, and eventually you're conscious.
By wake up, I'm assuming you mean to this, she says, indicating is sort of like the whole magic thing.
Gestures at the monster off to the left, holding the small goblin.
Just so.
Just so you
Boy,
don't.
what I wouldn't give to be able to do any of that.
Just so you don't trip over a landmine you didn't know existed the next time you talk to her. For some of us, whatever we can hold on to is the only way we can escape.
Some people are only able to make it out by the anchor that kept them bound to reality.
So you were a lifeline
right.
and grappling hook.
A memory of me was a lifeline and a grappling hook.
It's fair.
We are creatures of memory.
All right. I am keenly aware that time changes things, and I'm very sorry for what your sister went through. And I am deeply sorry that when she got back, what she was hoping for no longer existed.
It's not your fault.
There's
I know.
There's
And
no
we don't
way
blame
you
you.
can be the person you were 10 years ago. Even she can't. But
It hasn't been 10 years for her,
no,
based on what she was saying.
no. It's been, I don't know exactly what her time was. I spent 50 years in the span of 6 months.
I've had eyes like that. Not to equate, but
Yeah.
You can ask Wicker about mine. I don't want to go into it again.
well, obviously it's made all y'all what you are. Doesn't mean it was a good thing, or that you deserved it, or that whatever changes or benefits come out of it made it worthwhile. And that's up for all of you to decide.
That's probably a good analysis of it. Some of us like what we are, even if we don't like how we got there.
And some of us don't like what we are.
Some of us are confused. Everyone's unique, even more than the general mass of humanity.
Well, as far as anything we might be able to offer, we're a temporally inclined group, which is what lets us find ourselves to be where we need to be at the right time to wake people up. If there's anything temporally that y'all might need going forward.
Actually, there is. Our friends, Lark in particular, as well as Alana, and some of our other allies from the rest of the bucket. For the sake of it, we'll call it a freehold. Is our name for a location of where we stay.
It's atmospheric.
Are trying to put together an early warning system to try and predict the actions of those from the other side and warn us ahead of time to be able to help protect ourselves. And it's conveniently enough based on song.
Our waking people up is based on song. Our prediction methods vary. Orin's the best at it. I'm more drift and I bump up against things. He can direct a bit more.
If there's any assistance you could provide, we're trying to put together this early warning system. We've got some of the people and a bunch of the materials, but there's still blanks and things and rituals to be done and filled in. Any assistance that might be useful, that you might be able to see help anything, would be appreciated. And changelings are creatures of deals. Most of our strength comes from contracts that have been made long ago. And we are fond of forming deals using the powers of the weird, the strangeness that we all learn. We can provide benefits to others in our deals.
All right.
Our deals are magically binding.
Well.
And if you happen to have anybody that's really good at making weapons, we could use some of those too.
Yeah.
Junkrat's got a few options that he might be able to help you with. If you're looking for somebody who's good with hardware.
We're dealing with creatures that defy any law or ban reality might put on them. So every ace up our sleeve will be useful.
All right.
They do have a particular bane for iron, though.
And that's not terribly far outside his wheelhouse.
Untouched by a smithy's hammer.
Well, for them, it can be touched by a smithy's hammer, but it has to be done by hand. For us, untouched by flame.
Keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
Whenever whoever's phone number we get you access to, keep that one to yourself.
No, we have no intent.
We're extending you more trust than we would normally because of Atlana.
That's very kind and a little bit stupid.
A little, but
don't worry. We do stupid things all the time.
It shows how much we're looking for help.
All right. Well, They should be wrapping up pretty soon. If you want to strike back, we can talk with Orin and Junk and see if any of the others have something they might be able to
Let's
throw in.
go. Let's go leave this one with the others, and then you and I should stay around, Phage.
Yeah, that seems wise.
Okay. And that's where we're going to take a quick break and pick up with Megan, Lark, and Alana's exits when we get back.
All right, those of you that are watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around.
A dinosaur story.
Do whatever you need to do. Grab a drink, grab some food. We'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. A dinosaur story.
I don't need to say it because I already have.
So we return to Megan, Lark, and Alana walking away from this discussion. Discuss.
How you feeling?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yeah. Yes.
Like an idiot?
You're
Why?
not.
Look, I don't know what I wanted from tonight, but
Tonight was not a pass-fail kind of situation. You didn't have to have established specific goals that if you didn't accomplish, you should feel bad about.
I'm glad she's all right. I guess that's the most important thing.
And I think she's glad you're all right.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I don't see why.
She didn't need to know she was my anchor back to reality.
You think it made her uncomfortable?
Probably. If I were in her shoes, it would have made me uncomfortable.
Does it make you uncomfortable that she knows?
No. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't want her to know.
Okay. I mean, I don't know her, but she seems fine. I don't think you said anything wrong by any stretch of the imagination.
She seemed to take things fairly well.
Yeah.
I am glad for that.
What do you need right now?
I don't know. I feel like I have more questions than I had answers when I started this whole thing.
What questions?
I don't know. Maybe what happened. I know she moved on, obviously. She got to, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to know more about?
Maybe I'm okay.
Yeah. Do you
No,
want
you're
to
not.
know more about that?
Maybe, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling I'm not going to get what I need tonight.
Probably not. But if nothing else, get her number. Text conversations are real good for that kind of thing. Or phone. Like there's a lot going on right now. I mean, besides, all of the disaster circling around us. In this situation, there's a lot going on right now. And it's okay not to handle everything tonight.
You want to go back and talk to her? Do you want to get out of here?
We don't have to leave.
What
This
do
isn't about
you want?
half.
This is about what you want right now.
Right.
How far away from the other group are we?
Probably about, at this point, a block or so. Are you headed back towards the venue or the opposite direction?
I think she would have headed back towards the venue.
Okay, so yeah, you're about halfway between the group and the bar. Venue, place.
I don't know. Maybe I just wanted the person who I thought about for 10 years to look happy to see me instead of acting like this is a business transaction.
I get that. I think, and I'm speculating a bit here. And to be clear, I'm not taking her side on this. But there's there's a lot of dynamics at play here. And I think maybe she's just being tentative or careful. The easiest way to find out
To talk
is
to
to
her.
use those things we call words. Yeah. And again, that doesn't have to be tonight. It can be whenever. As long as you're willing to communicate further and she's willing to communicate further, it can be whenever.
I can get you her number, have Phage get you her number without you needing to talk to her tonight.
Yep.
If you want to put that off until a time that you're in a better headspace.
Or, we can wait until they fall asleep and kidnap her.
That sounds like the worst plan ever.
Yeah. I've heard worse. We've come up with worse.
Want to start a war with some magic users?
We've still come up with worse in other situations.
Every war we start is with magic users.
I'm joking, obviously, but
We can't get out of here without Liz and Butterfly.
Oh, Liz
Phage.
wants to get out of here. We can go grab her and Butterfly.
also sure we can. We have multiple vehicles, don't we?
Phage and I come walking up.
Phage and Oxygen actively came here on motorcycles.
Yeah.
And then we took Lark's car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely can if we need to.
Yeah, you could absolutely leave, and as long as no more than 4 people are left behind, two of which should be Phage and Oxygen, those motorcycles can ride 2 apiece.
Also, as we have established many times, we all have phones and Uber is a thing. Or Lyft.
Just tell us what you want, okay?
Or Lyft really carrying the "would you like Pepsi" energy of that sentence.
I would
Is
argue-
Pepsi products okay? Is Monopoly money fine?
I would argue it's carrying or it can be Coke side.
I was about to say I would rather
Because
a
one
Lyft
of
than
those
Uber.
is one of those
No.
is good, and the other one is Coke.
I'm not assigning value to it. I'm assigning I'm assigning intonation.
Vibes to it. Right.
Oh, I'm assigning value to Lyft and Coke.
I need to get out of here
Okay.
Okay.
before I do something stupid.
Give me 1 minute and then we'll get out of here. And she's gonna call Phage.
All right. Phage, your phone rings.
Roughly at the moment at which Oxygen is like, we should go take Liz over to them. So Phage's phone starts ringing. Look at that. Picks up the phone, answers it.
Alana needs to get out of here now.
Go on.
What
Akajan about to bring
about-
you Liz?
Okay, and Butterfly?
Butterfly will presumably be following along. She says, looking over at Butterfly. You going with Liz?
Oh, what?
Liz is about to be heading out. Are you going with her?
Babies do that.
Yes. All right.
Okay. We will meet you over at my car, okay?
All right.
All right, thanks. Oh, also, Phage, can you get oh, what
Is
was
that
her-
Lark?
Yes.
Tell her to say hello to my gun.
Butterfly says to say hello to her gun.
Tell Butterfly she can say hello to her own gun when she gets in my car.
Yeah, you
I
can
want-
say hello to your own gun when you get there.
I want Lark to say it.
She wants you to say
I will say it, yes.
it. Okay. She'll say it.
Can you get okay, what is
Adelaide
her
going,
name?
"What the fuck is wrong with this
Adelaide,
people?"
thank you. Gonna call her Adeline. Can you get Adelaide's number?
I'll do that. Also, I'm probably going to hang around a bit and talk with them along with Akujin about potential help that we might be able to.
Okay.
arrange.
Can you also tell her that when Alana is in a better headspace, she's going to call her?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll meet you over at my car. Or
So
Liz,
Alana's never going to call
Butterfly,
her.
someone.
Jesus Christ.
That's what that sentence is saying.
Oh, that call will be made.
She hangs up and
Hmm.
looks over at Akujin. Yeah, go ahead and carry Liz back to him.
All right, come on, Butterfly.
Butterfly will follow.
Adelaide, or,
What
Faith
we
will
don't
go-
want this to be the point where, like, all right, Butterfly Liz, you guys are fine to head back on your own on one of the motorcycles, right?
Oxygen hasn't put
Butterfly will
Liz,
drive.
Oxygen hasn't put Liz down. I'm really curious if Liz is trying to walk anyways.
I mean, I don't think I can right now.
Yeah, like
Just
just
man.
feet moving while you're dangling though.
No,
You're capable of walking. Navigating, but walking, sure.
yeah. I don't really want to be carried. So yes, I am trying to.
She's just feet kicking in the air.
No, if you keep.
If it seems like Liz is trying to walk, I will lower Liz back down enough that she can walk, but not remove my hand from like the back of her collar.
I don't like that. Okay.
Just making sure you're walking straight lines.
I'm not straight.
Nobody is, but lines go in particular directions.
Okay.
Paige looks back at Adelaide. Would you be willing, when people have had time, to stay in communication? She says, thumbing back over towards Alana.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. I'll get your phone number if you're willing and pass that along. And she'll try and
Great.
communicate when she's in a better headspace.
And she'll pull out a pen from somewhere and just grab your arm and write a phone number down.
Alright.
That's a 3.
Ah, okay. Thought it was an 8 for a second.
But if you'll head it out, we can
Well,
touch
I
base
think-
however you need.
Akujin and I are willing to stay around if you're willing to have conversations.
Absolutely. No, I think the rest of the band would like a little more information as much as you're
There's only so much.
probably not much, but
There's
just
only so
enough
much we
to
can share because, as mentioned,
no.
we're trying to extend some trust, but we do need to protect.
But we've all
ourselves.
got perils we need to watch out for.
Yeah.
For all that though.
Akujin's like, what are you talking about?
Let's pull you back and Luna probably talked to the other lad who was in the crowd and he's probably on his way. somewhere. So should be breaking down.
And feel free not to answer if this is something that's you fear me potentially exploiting out of you. What's the cost of that shit you do?
Time, energy, and a breathtaking amount of misdirection and limitations.
Interesting.
And
To be-
nosebleeds.
To be level playing field, the everything that we do pulls from the emotional essence of humanity, the glamour that we can glean from those around us.
Interesting.
It's something that we don't produce anymore. So we have to get it from the folk around us.
Might explain a few things. Well, for us, it's more that if you cross what's acceptable, the universe tends to pimp slap you into the middle of next week.
Bend reality too hard and it bends back.
There's a lot more to it than that, but in terms of shorthand, that'll do.
Fair enough. Ours doesn't really care about the bending back as much as it does the word and letter of your bond.
All right, well, best we not make any promises we can't cash with our asses.
Exactly. And it goes both ways. Our promises are binding, for good or ill.
All right. Well, that's good information. And I'll have a sit down with whoever's available
All right.
and get
Let's
you all
head back.
situated.
If you guys are hungry, I have a line on some very good food.
Post-show hunger cramps are always a thing.
I'll get Joey on the line.
All right.
And she'll call Joey Hot Sauce and have a shit ton of food delivered to the show.
Amazing. Fantastic. You guys are ushered into effectively a green room. And Wicker and the one that they call Orin are the two people who are there. The others are
Is this
overseeing the
assumedly-
breakdown.
Is this simply after I get Liz and Butterfly to the others and then get back?
Yeah. No, they'll wait for Akujin to come back because it's just Akujin and Phage that are sticking around, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liz is not going to want to leave without them.
Okay. Well, a
Sorry.
conversation in a parking lot then. No, absolutely. You guys all meet at Lark's car.
I hand
Open the door for Akajin.
I help Liz get to the car,
Yeah.
and then I give the rest of y'all a wave, and I turn and walk back towards the venue.
Wait. Where?
It's fine. They're
Just-
gonna talk.
Wait. Okay.
I'm gonna get you guys back.
No.
Yes.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't.
Listen, I know you're worried about them. We're all 100% aware of the concerns, the situation as a whole, and they're still.
I didn't check them.
Check who?
Akujin, and it takes her a minute to figure out who else is missing Phage.
Check them for what?
If they're going to die tonight.
It's a happy thought. Liz, I'm getting you home.
You can't. Sweetie, you're trying to control everything right now. And I get that. You can't control everything.
Megan, get in the car as you're talking.
I'm all right. Yep, I am.
Lark is behind the wheel right now, putting the child locks on.
The door didn't close yet. Did it?
I'm closing the door.
You can roll me a chance die.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
All right. Give me a dexterity and athletics for Megan as well.
I appreciate that Liz repeatedly tries Chaos Goblin stuff after hampering herself.
Athletics?
Yeah,
Dexterity athletics.
That's a 2. So
that
no.
was so close.
Door is shut.
Yeah. No.
Just gently, like you're trying to like meager, like clumsily, and I calmly like fold your hands in, hold you, and then shut the door very smoothly. They're gonna be okay.
And of note, after calling Joey, Phage does text her clavigers that the rest of her group is going home. Please be within at least a block of address.
Where you're at currently for the venue?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. All right.
We have the two. Well, if I do may say so myself, 2 of the 3 people most capable of taking care of themselves in a situation together. They could the humans can do some cool shit, but if they try to do anything, Akujin will literally just rip them apart and Phage will eat them. We're fine. Let's go.
Yeah, Lark's pulling out of the parking lot at this point.
Okay.
They did something like a time loop.
I'm sure that's something that Phage and Akujin might be able to ask them about to see if we can do that to a keep then.
But right now, you don't need to worry about that.
Yep.
You know, of note, Phage doesn't know about that time loop because if someone lets her know, she will ask about that.
All right.
That was absolutely an empty platitude.
Lark, you start driving, and with a level of protest,
Yep.
but
Don't care.
ensconced within the vehicle, you get probably 3 blocks away from your parking spot, and there's a tap on your shoulder from the back seat.
I'm assuming butterfly.
Can I have my gun?
Megan, can you just hand her the
Yes,
gun?
yes.
There's a little bit of ginger maneuvering as you have to reach under the feet of the driver to get the machine pistol out from under the floor mat.
I am making sure as I
Slightly
pass
go
it
off the
over
road.
that the fucking safety is on.
The safety is in fact on.
Okay, good.
Meanwhile, back at the venue, Akujin and Phage, you are led into a green room. There's a small table, some very old coffee that's still just on the warmer, that apparently has been left. Several beers, a number of other illicit substances, and Adelaide leads you in, so it's the 2 of you and 3 mages.
Is it very clear that smoking is allowed in this room?
Yes.
Cigarette out, lit.
Oh, you guys are going to have quite a time. All right.
Does Joey deliver out here?
Oh yeah.
Orin just kind of gestures to some chairs. Make yourselves comfortable then, I guess.
All right.
Find the two
That's-
sturdiest of the chairs.
Yeah, let's talk shop.
All right.
Wicker looks over at Orin, and do either of you speak German?
Paige took like 2 years of high school German, so
Okay,
not really,
you'll
but
catch-
knows like a few words.
You'll catch like a couple of the phrases,
Yeah.
these people, something,
Murder.
everything's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Akujen speaks English, Spanish, Japanese, and a little Chinese. No German.
Okay. Right. There's some German between Orin and Wicker. He
Wear their
responds
skin
in
like
kind.
a hat.
And then turns back to all of you. So obviously, nobody here is of a traditional sort.
Guessing that means of you folk who have woken up, as Adelaide put it.
Exactly.
No. And from the likes of it, I don't think we could be.
Well, Wicker here tells me that you guys are of a different flavor of less traditional. So pleased to meet all of you. I
Pleasure.
hope that you have gotten at least some blessing out of what happened here this evening.
Enough to know that you're not immediately a threat, at least.
And we'd like to keep it that way if we can.
If you are not out to cause harm, we are not here to drag you into that.
I appreciate that. Unfortunately, we've got other harms that are trying to drag us into them.
All right. And based on Adelaide's facial expression right now, I'd say you might be in the market for some assistance.
Indeed.
Okay.
So, trying to. Are any of you familiar with the Shinto concept of yokai?
Okay. That's where we're starting?
It's the easiest translation without getting into a lot of information you're honestly better off not knowing.
Little bit of narrowed eyes, but go on.
It's the sort of information that knowing it puts you in danger.
Understood.
So, functionally, all of our people, changelings, were turned into what we are by what you could call yokai. It's not a good process by any means. It's different for all of us.
But the mildest among us have endured what could be anywhere from a few seconds to eons of very specific mind, body, and spirit racking torture.
All right.
And
There's not one of us who is not somehow broken, traumatized, and in pain.
those of us that have escaped these creatures band together to defend each other in various different ways.
Seems reasonable.
They don't like to lose their toys.
Picture comes into focus then a bit. So you're under threat from
One of these.
Okay.
They're the sort of
Is
group.
this just your group then?
No,
What was it?
every
6
one of us in this
you?
city.
7? Oh,
we're a
every one
community.
of you in the city?
And also everyone
many,
of
and also
humans.
most of the mundane mortals who know nothing about it.
All right. Just trying to get a picture here, but okay.
They take mundanes, humans, turn them into us.
All right.
We
Use
occasionally
us as
escape.
servants, as
Yeah.
torture toys, playthings, furniture.
I was turned into a movie set where they reenacted innumerable horror films for the fun of it, and I was everything from the props to the murderers to the monsters. To give you an
Good
idea.
All right.
So, one in particular is claiming the city as their turf. And taking mundanes and attacking us. We're trying to stop them, but we are working on systems that will help us intercept them and stop them, but we are on the back foot.
Beings are unimaginably powerful, and our abilities come from the same source, but they are simply that many degrees of magnitude above us, even if we outnumber them.
Well, as far as that goes, we're travelers. We don't get locked down, and honestly, most of us are not the combat type. But
I understand you're temporally inclined, according to Adelaide.
if you've got questions, I may be able to offer some answers or at least hints or clues.
What do you know about freezing someone in a temporal trap?
That's difficult. The capacity to do that would require you would be risking a lot of damage to the surrounding area.
The surrounding area in this particular instance was the hedge.
Alternate dimension.
Easier to do there, based on what I know of such things, especially if it's one of the near realms that's associated or affiliated or has some mutability on the temporal side.
You could
On the
say
near side
that.
to Arcadia, so definitely.
Yeah. Time there
Trying
shifts different.
trying to do that in downtown Boston could easily level a few city blocks and probably end up with everybody dead. Trying to do that in a different plane of existence, much more forgiving, depending on the plane.
And it's just Boston.
It's a
Baltimore.
the hedge is a world of memory and emotion. It's psychoactive and time moves weirdly there.
All right. Well, as far as that goes, if you've got time magics, then that you need strategizing around.
What we need is a concept. We are creatures of ideas, memories, thoughts, but we don't have the concept of what to do.
I see.
There's no...
So you can't just kill this thing.
Not easily.
I
Not that
intend
we've
to
been able
try,
figure
but
out.
probably won't succeed.
All
Like I
right.
said, these things are degrees of magnitude beyond us.
Equivalency gods.
Well,
And there aren't that many of us in this city. We are
all
no
right.
army.
Well, Adelaide can do minor loops I don't know if it would be strong enough, and I don't know if she's kind of looks over at Adelaide, who kind of shrugs and gives kind of one of those wibbly hand gestures. We can, honestly, in this situation, you understand the trouble and peril more than we do.
Mhm.
Advice is likely.
What we really could use is tools. Anything that might be useful. We don't need you to throw yourselves in the line of danger if there's potentially any line of equipment that we could gather.
Each mage's tools are usually only effective for that mage, or at least someone who follows their similar path. For instance, and he pulls out an old, like well-worn floppy Bible and puts it on the table. And this one's one of mine. This one works very well for me. Some of my friends, well, I mean, obviously you'll have people who use the Quran or the Torah or the Gita or the I Ching or I have a friend who uses a copy of Finnegan's Wake.
Interesting.
But that's because that's how we work our wills on things. I don't
Can I show you
know.
something?
By all means.
Are any of you particularly worn out from the gig today?
He'll just be like, a bit.
She'll walk over and just offer a hand.
He'll
If
reach
you're
out and
if you're
touch.
if you have special senses for detecting magical effects, turn those on.
All right. You see that there's a Wicker specifically leans forward.
And they've offered us like some water and such previously,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
no, Wicker
I
specifically made that.
I fit the catch for the gift of warm breath then.
Okay.
I'm going to roll Resolve, Survival, and Springman.
All right.
Survival. Spring Mantle is 4. 2 successes.
Okay.
They become as healthy as though they had just risen from a full night's rest and had a full breakfast. All fatigue penalties disappear. Any bashing damage or damage suffered from food or water deprivation is fully healed.
Oh my, that's you see Wicker kind of make a motion with her hand like she's testing something in the atmosphere. Fascinating. You're very gifted.
I am
And she
one of what we
puts a
call
hand on Akujin's shoulder. You're very lucky to have her.
Yeah.
I am one of what we among our kind call the Spring Court. We're associated with growth, the renewal of spring.
If you can see our magics, or at least interface with them, I'm wondering if maybe you could if your tools won't help us, perhaps you could find tools more attuned to our magics if you're able to track them.
All right. Um, I can certainly inquire if there are tools accessible to you that might help you in this and maybe point you in the right direction.
And to be honest, while I imagine it's not really their fight, any of your folk, the awakened folk, who are resident within this city, are equally as much in danger as any of us or any of the mundanes in the warpath of this enemy of ours. If any of them are trustworthy and might be willing to form a defensive pact among the supernatural, it might be appreciated.
All right. Well, we can certainly reach out to anybody who's in the area and see who might be amenable to that sort of potential agreement. I can't speak for them directly and tell you
course.
what their inclinations or expectations would be, but we can absolutely get the word out to those that we know are safe.
Of course.
Just
We-
because somebody can do what we can do not make the mistake of assuming they are friends, though.
Understood. I imagine it sounds like your particular abilities in nature don't necessarily imply a whole lot of shared origin.
My philosophy is that there is one source from which all of this springs. But, however, in whatever means someone accesses a miracle, there are those who would use that power for their own ends and influence. And there are more of them than there are people who are endeavoring to ease the suffering of the world.
Understand.
And far more who benefit from the ability to control and manipulate the suffering of the world.
My point being, all changelings come from a place of shared suffering. It makes us more amenable to working together in a lot of ways. Not everyone. Trauma affects everyone differently. Some people close themselves off. Some people become aggressive or malicious. But there's a point of shared connection that every changeling has from their time in Arcadia.
All right. Understood. Well, we can certainly reach out. And definitely, I assume Adelaide has your number.
Actually, she says as she hands a slip with a copy of it to Adelaide.
And we'll see who we can get in touch with you that might be helpful.
In the meantime, she says, as she gets a text, food's here. Let's actually have something good to eat.
All right. They will share food with you guys. Talk a little bit about themselves. If you have questions, the main things you'll be able to get out of them is there's the sense of more people who can influence reality in the same way that they can is better for humanity as a whole. Then the more people you can wake up, it's like the first few pebbles on an avalanche when the avalanche is the objective. There's a lot of there's a faint undercurrent of idealism that if everybody can wake up and see that the world is inherently able to be changed according to the way that you want it to be, empowering humans is by and large a good thing. And the more people you empower, the fewer people can just consolidate power and use that to oppress others. There might be some holes in the philosophy as it progresses, but they are convinced that the more awakened you can get the rank and file of mundanes, you're making progress in the right direction, at least. As long as you're willing to continually empower other people and not hoard or control that.
Phage will very much conversationally, but counterpoint the question of, if that's the case, then how are you handling those who do awaken and then decide to be assholes about it?
Oren's particular rebuttal to that is then you awaken somebody who can stand up to them.
And if that person also decides to be an asshole,
then you awaken somebody who can stand up to both of them.
You just keep going.
Once everybody's awake, then everybody will have the capacity to stand up to everybody else.
And everyone will either choose to be an asshole or not, and then it becomes where the numbers shake out.
But at least you'll be awake and have a chance, which is better than a bunch of assholes who are awake and keeping everybody else asleep on purpose.
I mean, that's
And sometimes
fair.
you need an asshole to fight an asshole.
Can't really disagree with that one. I wish we had one.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you said about me, boss.
Adelaide says, I know a guy who has 3.
I will just over the course of the conversation, for purpose of mostly Alcogen's own curiosity, but also for their ability to sense these things, showcase a summer court gift and just see if that feels or looks different to them in a way that would be different as far as like tracking that
which
magic.
one?
Actually, he'll do. He'll do like smolder grip on something that is like he's holding as opposed to something
okay.
else is holding. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Make a quick roll. The one that they call Junkrat bangs the door open when this happens. Some of my instruments just went haywire. Who's fucking with thermals?
That'd be me.
All right. You spiked my meter. Thank you for the data. And he shuts the door and fucks back off.
Phaedra look over at Wicker and just ask, "Can you see these?" She says, as she sort of indicates to the like floating flower petals that occasionally just appear in her aura because of her high mantle.
Or the heat and flame from Akujin's high aura or high mantle.
She blinks a couple times. If I know to look for them.
Follow-up question. What about this? She says as she reveals the crown.
Oh. That has weight.
A lot of it.
And as you do so, though, Adelaide, you hear an intake of breath from her.
We changelings often group ourselves among our inclination of the seasons and their meaning. I am a member of Spring, and as it is spring and our court is in power, they have elected me to be their leader for the duration of the season. And so it is my weight and my mantle to protect my people from the Fae who would endanger them and the people around them.
She looks at you, gives a little bit of a nod, and then kind of gives a not breaking eye contact with you, but gestures towards over to Orin, who takes that Bible and sets it on its spine, pages pointed upward. All right then, Big P. Who are you most worried about right now, then?
Fine worried. As a threat or as a friend?
We can do both.
As a threat, I'm worried about the Queen of Ogian and the danger she presents.
And who is
a friend.
foremost in your mind otherwise as a friend.
Paige. My partner, who has been taken by her.
You see Orin sticks 2 fingers in to the Bible and lets the outer covers fall aside. Turns to one side. Fury is not in me. Who would set the briars and thorns against me in battle? I would go through them. I would burn them together. Isaiah 27:4. There's your queen. And then flips it back the other way. Oh. Psalm 107:10. Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron.
I would love to have any of that translated.
This queen has a deck stacked in her favor, and there's something about security in thorns for her.
Don't fight her in the hedge.
The thorns are in her favor.
Unfortunately, it looks like your friend is having a bad time of things.
I could have told you that.
And is being prepared for something.
That's what they do.
Of that last bit.
Affliction and iron?
And being prepared for something.
Oh.
Could I? Is there a role I could make to translate or to interpret the part about the Queen of Ogian, as like a explicitly like the hedge is her advantage, or our powers aren't or are her advantage?
Go ahead and give me a intelligence and occult.
Greatest
-1.
skills.
Did I run that as well?
Yeah.
Spend a willpower on that.
Nothing
For sure.
me.
Two successes.
You're getting a feeling that she finds power in the hedge. She is able to twist and turn its abilities to her favor. And tactically, it would be slanted heavily to her advantage if you guys were to try and go toe-to-toe with her in the hedge proper. It also has a feeling that she is a very tactical thinker. She is not a creature of, she's not dominated by impulse and emotion the way some Fae are reputed to be. She is a political and likely military-esque strategist in her approaches to things.
I'm going to just really quickly pull out my phone, text that information to War Dancer and Papa Sledge. And follow it up with, we're gonna have to fight her we're gonna have to trap her in the reel to fight her.
Do you ask any follow-up questions then? But you definitely get that sent across.
Do you know how to Do you know how to isolate the real?
You mean make it difficult for...
The
Things to
person
cross
that
dimensions.
the person that we're fighting, um, the hedge is all around us. It
Literally any door can be opened into the hedge.
I could open that door over there, and when you look through it, you would see nothing but a mass of thorns, not the hallway. The person we're fighting can do that anywhere, solid walls, not just doorways. Her advantage is fighting in that area, but she comes here to steal people, to attack us, to taunt us. Do you know of a way to lock her here once she's here?
I can ask around. I don't know for certain. I would assume if it is something that you do have to interact with the environment in order to get between, though, that finding a place with as few of those environmental aspects present would be best.
Here's a question. How up to date are you on local news?
Not here that much, unfortunately.
Have you heard anything on the news or in recent radio about an individual that the news is stupidly calling the Van Helsing killer?
Let me give them a roll. Doesn't ring a bell.
One of many unfortunate humans who have gotten caught up in something hedge-like and have been murdering mundanes and others. And now, I think, we're fairly certain, has been caught up in the Queen's game. In case there is any doubt, this woman is a danger not just to us and to the mundanes of the city, but to your plans. I think you might have noticed, I don't think I have the capacity to do what you do. And the more of us she makes, the fewer of you there can be.
That's accurate. He picks up the Bible. I'll meditate and I'll be in touch if anything else is revealed to me.
All we ask is any help that you can give. We don't ask that you put yourselves in danger. We don't ask that you take up our fight as your own. But any edge that could help us win this fight.
Adelaide steps up and kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll help how we can, Big P.
Out of curiosity, is she
And-
which shoulder is she able to touch? Is she touching human phage or ogre phage?
Both.
That's
The way that the way that the mask works is
Yeah.
effectively like if somebody who could not see his mask tried to brush Barnaby's hair out of his face,
It would just be
the hand would go around the horns, but as far as they would be able to tell, they're brushing his hair out of his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a weird sort of
It's
You're always
it's a
aware of
weird
your mean.
lenticular effect. But
Right,
her
yeah.
hand is on
you're
both
always aware of
shoulders.
your mean. So yeah, you see her hand up on Phage's actual
Gotcha.
changeling shoulder. As far as Adelaide can probably see, it's down almost 6 inches or however of, that Phage's form is less evident. Take care of your people, and we will help however we can. And tell Alana that this world isn't going to lose her again if I have anything to say about it.
Thank you for that. And thank you for anything that you might be able to provide. Changelings are creatures of paranoia, dreams, deals. But we also pay our debts, always. If you need any assistance that we can provide, we would be happy to provide it in exchange for any assistance you can give us.
That has value, Orin says. And we recognize that. And that's where we're going to close for the evening.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.